Hey!
It's alive!
Where did it cut off, by the way?
That's a good question. I do not know where it cut off.
You were talking about cutting the hair and it regenerates instantly. That's what.
Well,
That was the last thing.
let's see. Friendly rivalry between the Viking and the Highlander. Oh, Zan, can you tell me what the Highlander is?
Okay, so the Highlander is basically a character from a film, which was then also put into a TV series. Basically, the Highlander is an immortal, and there is this I guess a race of people. I think they're not from here, but they're kind of around here-ish, depending on which films you watch. But the premise is that every so often these immortals pop up, and they have to go around and kill all the other immortals, basically by dueling them and chopping off their heads. And in the end, there can be only one. It's like for control of the world, I guess.
And by doing so, they gain the other person's power.
Yes, this is true.
Yep. All right. So, we have now connected. We still need a connection for Vic. Oh, no. They're both friendly rivals. So, Victor, you can add that in. Now, you might be wondering what those numbers are next to your tropes. You guys can rearrange those numbers as you would like. And what those numbers mean is when I say I need you to roll your Highlander, or your Viking, or your Orcish Hairdresser, or your Dwarven Archaeologist, you're going to roll 4 d6s. And those d6s are going to determine how successful you are at whatever it is you're trying to do. And basically, the cutoffs are, for something that anybody could try and do and probably succeed, is 5. So even your thing that you only have 1 die in is going to have a chance of success. It's just not going to be great. Anything that is moderately difficult is going to be a 10, and that's something that only someone who's actually pretty good at it can do. Then there's going to be stuff that's really hard, and that's going to be a 15, and that's stuff that only experts can do. And then there's the nigh impossible things, which only the best of the best are going to be able to do. And that's going to be what your 4 is. Now you'll be able to use your 4 towards anything you can convince me you should be able to use your 4 towards. And you guys can rearrange your tropes however you'd like.
This is how many dice we get for...
Yep. So, for example, right now, you have 4 Orcish Hairdresser. That means you are the best Orcish Hairdresser ever. Ever. You've got 3 Master of Illusion, which means you are in the highest echelon of illusionists in the world. You are the true hero, but probably only of a moderately interesting story. And you are secretly jealous of Valdemar's hair, and I'm not sure exactly what that's going to let you do, but I'm really hoping that you roll that at some point.
Me too.
So,
I'm quite fine with my tropes as they are.
Cool.
I have to ask though, what is like a duct of water?
Zang?
It basically means you can take to anything new. Like, you pick up a new thing and you're like, it takes to that like a duck to water because, ducks are fine on water. So literally when he comes across something he doesn't know anything about, he's kind of all right at it. It's like as if he knew how to do it anyway. Because that's a trope, kind of cliche type thing. So yeah, I thought, fuck it, let's try that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that chameleon dude or something.
So I think the way I'm going to have like a duck to water work is basically you'll roll your duck to water, and depending on how complicated or weird the thing is, if you succeed on your duck to water check, you'll basically be able to use it as if you had 2 dice.
I can do that, yeah.
Even if it has nothing to do with any of your other tropes. Cool. All right, so now we need to think of a story. So, Reno Jackson has been collecting Highlander artifacts for how many years, would you say, Mr. Dwarven Archaeologist?
A good 100 or so years.
100 or so years. Zang McLeod, how long have you been a Highlander?
I've lost count.
Okay, so safe to say significantly more than 100 years?
Oh, for sure. I'm talking like maybe 1,000 or so. Like, yeah, he's been around a while.
Okay. And so Victor the Viking, obviously at least 1,000.
Probably. I mean, when was the last Viking?
Right now, apparently. All right, and Tiffany Toothrot, how long have you been cutting hair?
15 years.
All right. Fantastic. So, let's see. Zang, how many other Highlanders have you killed?
Over 1,000 years?
Over 1,000 years. And remember, there's not that many in the world.
No, there's not. I'd say maybe 8 at most during that time period. Like, just, yeah. Maybe 8.
Okay. 8. And Victor, how many have you killed?
Highlanders?
Highlanders.
Well, I don't know. I don't know much about them. I'm guessing that Valdemar and MacLeod has like tangented each other's paths all the way. So, like they met 1,000 years ago.
I'm going to say 8 as well, right? Like,
You know what?
Let's
I
keep
will
it
have
funny.
this be the first roll.
oh, okay.
Zang, go ahead and roll your Highlander.
Okay.
And Victor.
Viking.
Give me a reason why Viking would be better than Wolverine powers for killing an immortal.
Well, because Vikings are good at killing immortals.
Vikings are not specifically historically known for killing immortals, while Highlanders are.
Well, but Vikings are historically known
For killing.
for
It's a
killing
D6, right?
and pillaging.
Yes, it's 4d6.
I'm thinking that Viking is the one I use for battle, while Wolverine powers is when I like get my weapons and regenerate.
Right, and what I'm saying is the regeneration is how you kill an immortal, not just being pretty good at fighting.
Sure. I regenerate them until they die.
Yep.
Is it D6? Wait.
It's 3d6.
3d6.
Whew. All right, so I'm going to say that Zang has killed one more than you, Valdemar.
I need to kill another one.
All right. Reno, I am going to have you roll Drunken Lore. Okay. So you have heard that there is a Highlander artifact being held in northern Africa. And you're pretty sure that you can get to it, but you're also pretty sure that it's being protected by something. You're not sure what. Your drunken lore isn't quite enough to figure that out. So, who would you like to bring along?
Tiffany Toothrod, of course. Gotta keep my hair in tip-top shape.
Fantastic.
We have 2 immortals, and then you choose the hairdresser.
I love it. Yeah.
Nice.
Wise man right there.
I don't plan on killing anything. I just want a Highlander artifact.
All right. Zang. Yeah, Zang. This is going to really confuse me because Zang is the only one using his real name. All right, anyway. Zang, you and Valdemar have each heard that there is a Highlander somewhere in North Africa, but you have no leads on where.
Okay. Are we what sort of What setting are we in? Are we in a fantasy set? Are we in a modern setting? Like,
we're vaguely in a kind of Highlandery pre-cyber Shadowrun.
okay, so modern-ish.
Yeah, modern-ish, more or less real-world geography.
So I'm assuming that we're in like a pub or something, having a drinking contest.
You too? Yeah, I imagine that'll go over well. It's a good thing you're immortal, or you wouldn't be rich.
Okay, so I don't know. We get a message through like a contact or something, or we just get those twitchy Highlander senses tingling.
You get that twitchy Highlander sense. Valdemar doesn't, but he recognizes it in you as you're drinking, and all of a sudden your head kind of pops up. And you kind of look around.
Mm.
More mead.
Yeah, more meat. Eh? Like, if he's having another drink, I'm having another drink.
That was that story. Goodbye.
All right.
So the plan is, if I can outdrink him, then I get a head start on the Highlander. I'll leave him like a note or something if I do. But, yeah, like, hey, it's not a
Sucker.
rivalry if you don't have someone to try and compete with, right?
Exactly.
It's gonna be hard since he has Wolverine powers and he's immune.
I remember Wolverine's. Oh no, he sat in a bar drinking, not getting drunk.
Yeah. I think we should drink up and head to Africa. And with that, he'll do this with his mead.
Africa. Oh well.
And yeah, they'll finish the drinks probably together, like
Smacking down some of those assholes who are bothering us, and then just leaving the bar.
yeah.
All right, you guys win all of your bets with everyone that you can drink them under the table. Half of them don't pay up because they're literally under the table.
Well, we just take the money from
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
them. The loots and pillaging.
that. Right.
The bartender kind of gives you one of those looks, but doesn't do
Well,
anything.
I flex my muscles, so.
All right. So you guys are taking a plane. You get first class seats. Reno and Tiffany, you guys get on the plane. You are not in first class because selling Highlander artifacts doesn't work out too well, because usually the more you sell, the more likely it is they'll find you. So you guys are in economy.
I sell them to the museum because that's where they belong.
Oh, I see.
I
What
don't
museum?
sell the museum. The Edinburgh Museum of Highlander History.
Ooh. All right. So, are you based in Scotland then?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. So, Tiffany, you are also based in Scotland. Is that true?
Yes, of course.
I
like
love the
kilts.
randomness of this game.
Right?
I'm there for the kilts.
All right. Are you from Scotland, or did you move to Scotland? That's a good question for both of you.
I moved to Scotland
I was born in Glasgow.
from New York.
All right. So we've got the Bronx Orcish hairdresser.
I was born in Glasgow.
All right. The Glasgowian
Glasgow.
Glaswegian.
Reno Jackson. A historical Scottish name if I've ever heard one. Valdemar, where are you from? Oh, of course, you're from Viking. You're from the water.
I'm from the north.
He's from Viking lands.
I'm from Viking lands before there were names on the countries.
Fantastic.
Ship.
All right. So, Zhang and Valdemar, are you in Scotland as well, or are you somewhere else?
I imagine us being somewhere else at the moment.
You
Like
could be in Viking lands, maybe.
we can be in like the far north of Sweden, like Kiruna or something.
All right. So you guys take your first class flight, and there's a connecting flight in Paris. And as you guys are sitting there waiting for your flight to North Africa, it's let's say Morocco, because that's the easiest one for me to remember. As you guys are sitting waiting for your connecting flight to leave, you recognize a funny-looking orc and a familiar dwarf sitting waiting for what appears to be the same plane.
I'm going to assume that the dwarf is almost like a fanboy type thing for Highlander stuff, right? So I'm just going to be like, oh.
I will look at my Highlander friend, see the fan by like,
Do I recognize Zang McLeod of McLeod?
You see a familiar face, and it's really weird. You've seen him a couple of times before, and usually when you're hunting Highlander artifacts, and it's not as funny in this particular alternate reality, but he's got a really, really big sword strapped to his back.
That's a mighty big sword. Wow, I get okay.
Wow, did you just go full Finn because you were talking about big swords? Is that what just happened there?
Hashtag Finn Pius? That's a really big sword there.
Hashtag Renang.
It's a claymore.
A claymore, eh?
You can have a look if you want.
Are you gonna whip it out?
I might whip out my axe.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? You can have a look at the sword.
Alright, does the sword have any like Highlander-ish stuff on there?
Oh, if we're going to be going with the traditional movie tropes, then it's got like, it's a big fuck off sword, and on the hilt, it actually has McLeod like written on it. Other than that, it's a very basic looking weapon, but yeah, it's got the name iconography on it.
But very well kept.
Oh, of course.
Sharpened, shiny.
Oh, you're a McLeod, eh?
I am.
I've seen many of your kind in my adventures. Well, not your. You couldn't possibly be the one that I saw. It was a long time ago.
I have. I was a wee bit unsure what you were on about with my kind, because I'm.
I meant
you're
the
a dwarf.
McLeod family, and as well as you being human.
Aye.
Yeah,
Proud family traditions and stuff. Aye.
I will drink a bit of mead. No one really knows where I got it from in the airport, but
And I will be, meanwhile, nervously holding back my desire to just reach up and touch Valdemar's hair.
All right, I'm going to have you roll your secretly jealous of Valdemar's hair.
Oh,
And if you roll higher than a 5, you can control yourself.
do you get superpowers if he can control himself?
No, he does not get superpowers if he can control himself.
what is that? That's just 1,
2d6.
2d6.
Yep.
Oh no. I cannot control myself.
So, Valdemar,
What is your hair?
as you're distracted by the conversation between the Highlander and the Highlander fanboy, you feel a hand stroking your hair.
I'm guessing this has happened before since he. This is
No, this is actually the first time that you guys have met.
I will look over at him. No, her or it.
Him.
Him.
I'm gonna get rid of that secret.
Because orcs are taller than humans, right?
Generally, yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Oops.
I'm reminded of the typical you roll a nat 1 fantasy setting where you're encountering the orc.
Gently caress the Viking's hair. It is uncomfortable for everyone.
And I try to explain myself, but I can't. I'm just too nervous and too enthralled by the hair. I'm like, the. So then I just sort of back away.
I'm just glaring.
All right, so
You can touch my hair if you want as well.
What hair?
that's getting into the competitive spirit. So yeah,
That's
Tiffany,
a bit odd.
Tiffany, that his hair doesn't look as nearly as luscious.
I just give him a "Are you serious?" look. Like, I don't even say anything. Just like, why would I want to touch your hair?
Because it's just as nice as us. I will roll for this if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and roll friendly rivalry with Valdemar. If you get higher than a 5, then you don't sound quite so hesitant and okay. That's good enough.
So now I'm forced to touch his hair as well.
No. You're not forced to do anything.
You can just appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
he just is a little more confident about how nice his hair is.
Fair enough.
It did look nicer, but
I'll touch it, but I will keep hold on Valdemar's hair the entire time. Without realizing my other hand is still holding his hair.
Tiffany, what are you doing?
I have no idea.
confused 'cause I don't
I get nervous on airplanes.
You know, I can curl that kind of hair, right?
Now boarding first class.
Sorry, you're about to shapeshift your hair so that it matched everyone's.
Oh.
That would have been beautiful.
And then I do it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your shapeshifter. It's not difficult to make your hair luscious. So all you do have to do is beat a 5, but you can fail. Wow, you almost did.
Oh. Hair isn't as easy to make look nice as you think.
All right, so it's definitely not quite as luscious and springy and gorgeous as Valdemar's, but it is very nice. Still
It's
not
not-
enough to get Tiffany's hand out of Valdemar's hair, though.
It's not like I'm not, like edging away.
The man has the book.
Like. So I just, lucky we have first class at least.
I love that the first challenge that our party has encountered is who has the most fabulous hair.
Right. Okay, so Zhang and Valdemar stand up to board, correct? Reno and Tiffany, you guys are obviously still in economy. Is there anything you'd like to try and do about that? Particularly Tiffany, who would probably like to stay with Valdemar.
Is he holding on to his hair?
I'll just move away straight towards the plane.
As he's off to the plane, I'm going to take a detour to the bar and catch up on a drink of mead I missed out on.
All right.
Can there be one on the plane?
The plane probably doesn't have mead. They probably have the usual wine and little teeny bottles of alcohol.
I'm quite sure we pre-ordered.
I'm going to tell the lady at the desk or whoever's at the desk how important and what a hero I am to try and get my ticket upgraded. So that I
Okay.
can sit behind Valdemar.
Okay.
And I'm going to flaunt my famous archaeologist status.
Okay. Reno, go ahead and roll 4. It's going to be nigh impossible because archaeologists don't automatically get bumped up to first class. True heroes, though. If you beat a... I'm going to say you're not going to be able to do it with True Hero because you're not the true hero of that important a story. Is there any other way you might be able to bump yourself up?
Oh, like he used Master of Illusion and like looks like a president or something.
Or just change how your ticket looks?
Yes, I will use Master of Illusion then. I was trying to make it harder on myself, but...
Well, keep in mind that you're going to have to change your ticket and Reno's. Because,
Am I limited to how many times I can use each one, or
nope.
like I can just use the same one every time?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to use Master of Illusion then to try and do some misdirection and trick them into letting us into first class, thinking that we have tickets, either by, like, hey, what's that over there? And then go sneak on real fast.
Okay.
Create a diversion.
All right. I'm going to say that particular method is going to be very difficult. So you're going to have to beat a 15 with your 4d6.
All right.
Not impossible. Yeah.
Master of Illusion, not apprentice, master.
All right. So what illusion do you create in this airport to make the ticket taker and the security distracted?
I'm going to make one of the garbage cans across the way explode.
Okay. The garbage can explodes, and you and Reno are able to sneak onto the plane in the confusion. And as you guys are walking down the ramp, or up the ramp to the plane, you hear, I could have sworn that thing exploded. What happened? All right. So, Zhang and Valdemar, you have already found your seats. And Tiffany and Reno, due to the distraction, you were the last ones into first class, so all the seats are taken. And you guys are standing there in first class, and an attendant comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, sir and sir? Can I help you find your seat? Let me see your ticket."
It blew up in the garbage can. All right, I will. I got nothing.
I will
Really,
bring.
Master of Illusions, the tickets.
Nobody really
Make sure
knows.
we don't get thrown off the fucking plane.
You probably wouldn't get thrown off the plane. You'd probably just get sent back.
All right, I will use Master of Illusion to manipulate the tickets to make them look like first class tickets.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
The numbers and all that stuff. Whoop. Where did I go here?
All right.
Oh my god.
And oh my goodness. So if you guys could also read off your total.
22. I got 22.
Nice. So with a 22, you are able to perfectly imitate someone else's ticket. And the lady looks at the ticket and then looks over at the seat and says, "Excuse me, sir. I need you to stand up and move to your real seat." And he says,
"I bought my ticket here just last week. I paid $3,000 for this ticket."
and she smiles like attendants do and says, "Yes, sir, but please leave. This gentleman obviously has the ticket for this seat. and I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
You'll be hearing about this from my lawyer.
But he stands up and takes off. And his wife also stands up. Oh my goodness, Gerald, this is terrible. You're a horrible person. Why didn't you just buy the right seats? Oh my goodness.
Apparently his wife is Minnie Mouse.
Apparently.
I stare apprehensive at the mouse. And then go to sit down in the first class seat.
Yeah, she probably didn't even need the whole seat to herself. All right, so you guys are sitting on the seats right across the aisle from Valdemar and Zhang. Plane takes off, and everything goes pretty smoothly. You guys fly from Paris, and you start seeing the Mediterranean Sea, and right over the Mediterranean Sea, a man walks up to Reno and taps him on the shoulder. Excuse me, sir, can I buy you a drink?
Of course.
Excellent, what do you have?
I want the finest dwarven whiskey you have.
Excellent taste, sir. He motions an attendant over. Says, finest dwarven whiskey, please. 2, if you don't mind. And the attendant says, oh, certainly. It's a guy, for some reason. And
The judge.
he goes off into the crew quarters and brings out 2 glasses of whiskey. The man takes one, hands you one. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I'm going to have you roll your drunken lore. Because you know about drinks. Ooh. So, something about this drink smells a little weird. But it smells like the same kind of stuff the other guys got. But this is definitely not the finest dwarven whiskey. It's probably dwarven whiskey, but it's not the finest.
But it's the finest they've got.
That's a possibility, but there's still something a little weird about it.
I'm going to pretend to drink it.
Okay. And how are you going to do that? What is your approach? Tiffany, I'm going to also have you roll the true hero.
True hero? Okay.
I've got a great idea for this, but I can't.
I'm going to.
I'm not that much of a
I'm going to shapeshift a hole in my face as it goes back through the back of my head.
So you pour, and the whiskey splashes on the seat behind you. And the guy looks over at you and he goes, I'm guessing you made the hole and then closed it up again after the whiskey poured through.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me, sir. What just happened?
Some prank happened. Water from the ceiling.
He looks up. I don't see any water.
Huh. Well, the whiskey was delicious. It's not the finest, but it's probably the finest they've got.
Ah, certainly. So, would you like to join the Mile High Club?
No.
Oh. Fucking hell. And he goes off.
I think that guy was eyeing the hole in the back of your head.
You keep quiet.
All right, so you guys are flying over the Mediterranean Sea, and you've been propositioned by some man. Shep, no hesitation, just no. You've been propositioned by some strange man with some weird whiskey, and you didn't notice him do anything to this drink, but you know that there was something weird about it. So something must have happened either when it was bottled or in the attendance area. What would you like to do about it?
I am going to investigate the attendance area
Okay.
using Dwarven Archaeologist because I can investigate using my archaeology skills.
Sure. Sounds good. As you get close to the attendance court or attendance area, and a big burly woman of an attendant kind of steps out. Can I help you, sir?
Hi there. I had a little bit of this weird whiskey. I was just wondering if you
Wondering if you could have some more.
yeah, let's go with that.
Sure, please go back to your seat, sir.
Okay,
She's not moving. She's blocking your access to
so I walk back just far enough for her to get back into the thing, into the area. So then I transform into a fly.
Okay, she watches you like as you're going back to your seat.
So
Like,
I sit down.
Okay.
So
She
I'm
finally takes her eye off.
I'm short enough to not be seen by her when I sit down, right?
By her, no.
I transform into some kind of small animal like a fly.
Sounds good.
Like
Go
that.
ahead and roll shapeshifter. This is going to be moderately difficult. Whoo! Close one. All right, so you turn into a fly.
And I fly into the attendance area, far away
right.
from the other attendants. I don't want to get smashed.
Yeah. So you fly into the attendance area, and you see this big burly woman. Like, she finally, like, after she's watched you sit down, then she turns around to go back. So you get in there just as she is uncorking a bottle of obviously dwarven whiskey, pours it in, and then kind of glances over her shoulder, grabs a little bottle from a kind of a hidden shelf, unscrews the little top. Damn dwarf.
Does my character know what he's trying to do? Reno's trying to do?
No, he has not said anything. You do know, however, that he turned into a fly and flew off. You're used to this, though.
Like people do in the hair salon. You
Why
know?
didn't you go to the bathroom and do that?
So she picks up the glass and turns around and walks back.
I
been able to open doors. Just out of curiosity.
There's no door to the attendance area.
No. We went to the bathroom. Like the fly's gonna struggle to open the door to get out, right?
Yeah.
I look at the bottle that she put into the whiskey.
Okay. It looks really weird to your fly senses, so I'm going to have you roll another shapeshifter, and it's going to be moderately difficult. So another 10.
To be fair, if he shapes into fly, he probably shapes into fly with human eyes.
Ooh.
Ooh. You can't tell, but you can make out a skull and crossbones. So the big burly lady is headed back to Reno's seat, but Reno is not there.
I fly on over to behind the curtain where the bathroom is, a little to the front of the plane.
Okay.
And then I shapeshift back to myself, and then go back towards my seat.
All right. What are you going to do, Ryan?
Well, I was standing up to go and block the path because I see the lady coming down, and I know what just happened, kind of, from my perspective.
Yep.
And then I look, and I see him turn into human in the back, and I face palm. And I say, "Oh, what was I getting up for? I forgot." And then I go sit back down.
All right.
My plan was to go distract her so he had enough time to fly back to his seat.
This is me acting like I went to the bathroom.
Okay. So she gets to your seat before you even get to the front of the plane to transform back into yourself. So she gets to your seat and it is empty, and she looks at the orc who came in with you, and she says, "Where did he go?"
To the bathroom, I hope.
You hope?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know.
He just ordered a drink.
I was sleeping.
That's acceptable.
Very well. That'll be $20.
Me?
Well, he's not here.
Mm.
At this point, you come out from behind the curtain.
Hey now. Here, have a 20.
Good. Here's your drink. She pockets the money and turns back towards the back of the plane. Well, the middle.
I dumped some of it in her mouth. No, I'm kidding.
Time check on that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good place to pause, or?
Yeah. So, you guys have someone, possibly multiple someones, trying to do something to the dwarven archaeologist on the plane.
Trying to poison me, okay?
Well,
That's certainly what it looks like.
I'm quite sure that Valdemar and Zhang don't really care. They're having a friendly mead competition at the plane. Nobody really knows where they got all the mead from, but Vikings always bring mead.
I figured that it was a special in-flight option, like when we were going through the VIP ordering like special requests. Like